The streets of Silent Hill stretched before him like veins carved into the earth. Each corner promised answers, but every step deeper into the fog felt like a descent into something waiting, unseen. And Batman, though he had never feared the dark, found himself questioning what shadows truly meant in this place. The silence was unnatural. Gotham's nights were loud with sirens, gunfire, and the whispers of criminals lurking in alleys. But here, not even the insects sang. The stillness of Silent Hill pressed against Batman's chest, making every breath heavier than the last. He advanced carefully through the streets, scanning the mist for movement. The buildings leaned inward, their outlines skeletal in the haze. Wooden porches sagged, windows shattered into jagged maws. Doors left ajar like toothless mouths. Rust crept along every surface, as if the town had been abandoned for centuries and then suddenly unearthed from its grave. A lone swing set groaned in the distance, its chains rattling though there was no wind. Batman paused. His eyes narrowed beneath the cowl. He had heard that sound before, in Gotham's forgotten parks, where ghosts of laughter lingered long after children had fled. Here, the sound carried no memory, no warmth, only dread. He checked the Bat computer on his gauntlet. Static. No connection, no readings. The town's fog blocked every signal. Even the digital clock on his wrist flickered, as if time itself faltered within these borders. He was cut off, alone, vulnerable. A scrape echoed from behind him. Batman spun. His cape curled around him as he dropped into a defensive stance. Nothing. The street stretched back into the wall of white, featureless and empty. Then came another sound, shuffling steps, dragging against broken concrete. A figure stumbled out of the fog. It looked like a man at first, hunched and staggering. But its proportions were wrong. Shoulders caved, limbs too long, face blurred as if smeared by unseen hands. The thing jerked toward him, body convulsing like a marionette with snapped strings. Batman stepped forward, voice steady. "Stay back." No response. The creature lurched faster, arms clawing through the air. Batman struck with a precise blow to its chest. Instead of collapsing, the body bent, twisting unnaturally, bones cracking without breaking. A guttural hiss escaped its throat, a sound neither human nor animal. Another came from the mist, then another. Their outlines staggered into view, shambling, twitching, hungry. Batman realized he was being surrounded. He moved quickly, ducking into an alleyway. The shadows offered cover, though here they felt heavier, almost alive. He pressed against a wall, listening to the scrape of inhuman footsteps as the creatures shuffled past. The alley smelled of rust and rot. He looked up and saw words scratched into the brick. They stretched across the wall, carved in desperate, trembling lines. He couldn't save them. The letters burned into him like fire. For a moment, the cowl felt heavier, his chest tight. His mind went back to the alleys of Gotham, to a gunshot, to pearls spattering across wet stone, to a boy's promise forged in grief. He shook it off, forcing focus back to the present. Silent Hill wanted him distracted. It fed on guilt, twisting it into chains. If he let it dig too deep, he would be lost before he ever reached the truth. The alley opened into a courtyard. A rusted fountain stood in the center, bone dry. Around it were scattered photographs, half buried in dirt and ash. Batman crouched and picked one up. It was a family portrait, mother, father, child. Their faces had been burned away, leaving only silhouettes. The air thickened, the fog closed in tighter, and then, faintly, he heard it. Whispers, voices layered over one another, indistinct yet sharp enough to pierce. They called his name. Not Batman, not the mask, Bruce. The sound froze him. Almost no one in Gotham knew his true self. But here, in this forgotten town, the fog itself spoke the name like a curse. He clenched his fists, his voice low and commanding. "You don't control me." The whispers fell silent. Suddenly, the world shifted. The courtyard darkened, colors bleeding out of the air. The pavement cracked and split into rusted grates, the fountain collapsing into a pit. Sirens wailed in the distance, low and mournful. The other world was waking. Chains rattled overhead, hooks swinging in the gloom. The photographs curled into ash, consumed by invisible fire. From the pit, something began to rise. It was taller than a man, its body wrapped in torn cloth and chains. Its head was bound by a crude iron mask fused into its flesh. Each movement was accompanied by the screech of metal grinding against bone. Its arms ended not in hands, but in jagged blades. Batman readied himself, muscles coiled. The monster stepped into the foglight, breathing in ragged bursts. For the first time in years, Batman understood what it meant to be hunted. The fog grew darker. The siren wailed again, and Silent Hill closed its gates around the dark night, as if declaring, "You are not here to save. You are here to suffer."